and hopefully, do I sound okay?
Hey, you sound good. Sound lovely.
Yeah, thanks.
It's like almost like Vin Diesel and The Rock
If they had a baby,
if they had a baby
ugh,
and it was a boy
ugh.
or a what do you call him now? I guess. So
Well, I mean, you can call them what you will.
yeah.
So, yeah, sorry about the technical difficulty here. We tried to do this on a different platform, and I know that we can make it work, but we didn't make it work.
We've got just a few glitches. I think we'll have to consult with Gemini a little bit on this one, just to really get some of the kinks worked out.
The nice thing is nobody cares. They're okay with this. We're like,
yeah,
we set the bar really, really low.
I mean, that's the thing. When you set the bar low, things can only get better.
You would hope,
right?
You would hope.
Like I think that'd be good. And it's not like there's a lot of people out there in Brandon that are really doing podcasting or live streaming or anything. So I mean, we're kind of like, hey, this is what you get.
You know what? It's kind of like the Temu of podcasting.
No, it's like the Temu of Bob and Doug, or or Temu.
There are worse. They'll guarantee
Temu Cheech and Chong, maybe. I don't know. We're not very Cheech and Chong either.
Well, we got a little bit of Chong,
I guess so. So,
a little bit.
So, a little bit.
So yeah, we you were talking about the latest. I saw it.
Yeah. We don't even have to mention that one. That new acronym they have. Yeah.
You want to mention an acronym that I stumbled upon?
I don't. Yes, I do.
Yeah, no.
Let's not get
canceled before. Let's
not get canceled.
Let's not get canceled before we start, because
cancel culture can be strong online here. But like a friend of mine said, the NDP had a strong week. They had a strong showing over the last little while.
They had a lot happening. They definitely had a lot happening.
Yeah. Now everyone's watching them, right? So it's a lot of attention.
It's good to see interesting. Hey, Tash. You know what?
Hey, let's get the discussion board up there here.
Sorry.
There it is.
Can you do it?
There we go. Yep, apparently.
Since podcast about growth, are you gonna be mature or sit
serious? No.
Okay, come on. You know who you're talking to here.
So I mean, there's a thing about changes, and change. It doesn't mean that all of a sudden you have to be a grown up in these situations. It just means that there is things that are gradually changing and evolving, and sometimes they're for the good and sometimes for the bad. So
I think that we fear change, but I mean, lots of us are stuck in our ways with a lot of things. Like, what is one thing that what's a hill you would die on? What's something that you just won't. You can't even, as they used to say.
That I can't even. What? Oh, good God. There was something. Okay. This is the dumbest thing. This is just a thing that I've had since I was a kid. Okay.
Parallel park.
No, I'm okay with that. I think my eyes are wide enough. That's the thing. But the thing that really has always gotten me when I was a kid, and even now, was the issue was when you go to sleep, I can't have my hands or feet off the bed.
I'm sorry?
I can't have my hands or feet off the bed.
Is that because the under the bed monster is going to get them?
Under the bed monsters? 100%. If I put my hands or feet over the bed when I'm sleeping, it will wake me up.
Really?
It will wake me up. Yeah, it's just one of those silly things that hangs on. Like, you can't tell me you don't have a monster under your bed.
No, I think that if I had a monster under my bed, what would monster be?
Do we need to give a pronoun for a monster?
Why are we so weird about saying him, her? I'm kind of over it.
Well, we kind of had a really big change with that sort of thing, and I get the whole thing that people need to have that ability to express their own personal identity.
Sure, knock yourself out.
I'm okay with that. Okay, but if I get it wrong, don't get mad at me if you didn't tell me.
Hey, if you're convincing, I wouldn't be making a mistake. There's that.
Right? I am not a convincing female.
No.
Right?
Oh, you'd be like one of the ladyboys in
Oh God, could you imagine? This wouldn't be fooling anybody.
Well, you shave that beard down, and I mean, yeah, I don't know. You might have a pretty face on it.
Might be very pretty face. You got a pretty mouth, right?
Like, this is nothing feminine.
No. No, there's not much. There's not very much feminine about that. I'm sorry, man.
No. So go things you would die. So you think that there's
Skip.
monsters under your bed, which is
Absolutely.
lovely.
And I will die with that one. I completely have all belief that there's monsters under the bed.
I think that I used to have a thing about lightning. Like I didn't want to be outside. But
That's fair.
that was because when I was about, I think we were 13, we snuck out and ended up going like Sev.
Oh, yeah.
And it started raining. And then I was coming up 26th Street and there was the storm started and a telephone pole got hit.
Oh,
like half a block away from me.
Okay.
And like I could feel my hairs just stood up. Everyone was like,
yeah.
And I hauled ass back home.
Yep.
And for years, I just, you know what?
Did you crawl home? Get down close to the ground?
No, I just ran my chubby ass back home, and that was back when I was a tank. So, but yeah, we have these things. I think that, and people don't want to change. Like there are certain things that I like. You like your coffee a certain way.
Absolutely.
Right.
Black. I like my coffee how I like my women.
Bitter and dark.
Big, black, and angry.
Right.
Yeah.
How's Angie doing these days?
Well, she's not really big, black, and angry, so it's good.
No.
So I don't know. Mixed tastes, I guess, at times, right?
Mixed taste.
Oh crap! Are we gonna get canceled now because that was offensive?
No, to who? Your wife?
I don't know.
She's gonna kick your ass. No, the
probably
public doesn't care.
No. Well, I hope not. Anyways,
so
you almost got struck by lightning, eh?
It happened really, really close to me. Like it was right there, and you could feel the static. It was terrifying.
So if you were 13 at that time, the light flashing before your eyes was.
It was a short.
Quick.
It wasn't a long show.
Eh? Yeah,
it was not a long show. No, I think that but there are things that people won't change. And I mean, we talk about this. We've talked about businesses. We've talked about doing your own thing. We've talked about a lot of things. And if there's one thing that I've never understood, there's comfort, and comfort is fine.
Yeah.
But sadly, I know that there are people that have been in jobs they've hated for the last 8 years.
Yeah.
Or the last 20 years. And they hang on to it because you know what? Another 17 and
I'm gonna get that pension and it's gonna be pretty good. So,
or even if you're in it and you've got, let's just say you've had a career and you've hated it for the last 20 years and you've got like 7 years till that full pension kicks in. You realize that if you quit right now, you get most of it.
Yeah.
And
they don't take it away from you. You still get to keep it.
No.
I've had that discussion with a lot of people who don't quite understand how a pension operates. Number one, they think it's like a tax-free gift. And then number two, they think that if they quit, they lose it.
No, you still get it. But let's just say you're getting 80% of it.
Yeah.
Right. I believe, and Doug probably correct me on this, but if you took 80% of that and then your tax brackets could be slightly different, your take home wouldn't be you'd be losing something.
You'll lose something,
but it wouldn't be much. Well. And then if you got to do something you really enjoyed,
it'd be worth
it would make it more than make up the difference, and you wouldn't cry yourself to sleep every morning. Or every night.
Like, here's the thing. I had this really strong argument with somebody about pensions, and it was like, well, if I quit now, I'll get less of a pension.
It's true. Like, yes.
Yes.
That's how math works.
Because you're going to work 5, 10, 15 years less. Mm-hmm. So, of course, you're going to get less. You're contributing less. Mm-hmm. They're like, well, that's not fair. I'm like, actually, it's math.
It's completely fair because you're not contributing anymore.
Is it completely fair? And they're like, well, I really want the full pension. It's like, then you got to put the time into completion.
But I don't want to.
I was like, well, and I think the problem's you here. Like, I can't help you on this one.
And not even going on the pension side, and that's what they call the golden handcuffs, right?
It is.
But
it is.
It's not just the pension side. There are people that have hated their job, or they got a job they just don't like it, a career they don't like, and it's sad. It's unfortunate because there's a lot of misconceptions for sure when it comes to pensions. There's good for sure if you're in a spot where you can get one. Yeah, fantastic. As someone who's it, like I think it's great. It's a great benefit that a lot of people have. A lot of people don't. Most people don't, right? But if you're in something, and not even at the pension thing, let's take that off the table for a second.
Sure. Let's go for it. Yeah.
You go to school.
Let's get more general and let's talk about education is a good one.
You go to school, you get an education,
Yeah.
You believe you need to do this job, whatever the job is. Now, yes, you do need to save up to top up your rent. Absolutely you do.
Yeah.
But let's just say you're just in something. You're 3 years in, not a career, or it could have been your career, but you put in the time at school, so now you're in debt, but you're in a job that you hate, or you're not good at it. There's that.
Correct. Yes.
Do you stay just to stay because you paid for the education?
Well, so there's the question sometimes, and I think we're in a really bad situation with a lot of people where they, we've really done a good job of teaching people that, if you love your job, you will never work a day in your life. That if you find something that you're passionate about, it's never work because you're going to love every moment. And what a bloody misconception and lie that is, and like, good God, you shouldn't find something that you're passionate about because, everyone gets tired of Christmas, right? You've had enough Christmas. You're like, okay, I'm ready to move on. Even though that's a great time and everyone's a fun time, it's just too much. So people need to find something that they're just inherently good at and that they can, not want to shoot themselves in the head, really. As long as you're not really going mental, you're going to be pretty good.
I think so. I mean, and do you really know what you want to do? Do we really have a clue?
Oh, God.
If you would have asked me 26 years ago, if you would have told me, hey, you're going to be behind a barber chair,
Right.
I would have told you you're insane. But
yeah,
end up doing it.
Exactly.
And it was fantastic. And it's been a great career. And I also have a great career as a real estate agent. But even that, if you would have told me, Quentin, you're going to be a realtor one day, I'd be like, no, that's a club I'm not interested in part of.
Yes.
But again, you do it. Yeah, you do it. And then you end up enjoying it. Your passion doesn't pay the bills, but I'll tell you what, if you're passionate about what you're doing, it's a lot easier to pay your bills. You don't hate what you have to do to pay your bills. Yes, there's that.
That is true. That is very accurate too. And I mean, there's the thing is a lot of times people really mistake what passion really is. Are you really passionate about it, or are you interested? Do you find it interesting? Do you enjoy it? Because if you're passionate about it, you're going to make a whole lot of sacrifices around it. Are you prepared for that?
And there's this part. It's really hard to love something if you're shitty at it. How about that?
That's fair. That's fair. Now, you are a Catholic, right?
Yes.
So you have a whole different terminology or thought process when it comes to sacrifice or passion, more specifically, right?
I guess
when we start talking about the passion of the Christ.
Yeah. Right? Yeah. Okay. I'll let me hear what you're saying.
Okay. So a lot of people will say, like, I'm just so passionate about it. I love this so much. It's like, okay. And then why don't you put the time into it? Because let's get serious. If you're passionate, you're going to be making some certain sacrifices on it. Or do you just really think it's cool and interesting? Okay.
Okay. Well, you can think a lot of things are cool and interesting, but if you're not getting paid to do it, keep going.
But when it comes down to and correct me if I'm wrong, when it comes down to passion, the passion of the Christ, like he didn't really want to.
He did what he had to do.
He did what he had to do because it was necessary, even though it was hard, it was brutal, and it was the biggest sacrifice.
Right. So I mean, going to that's in the big macro, but if you go into the micro of people, if you did what was the best thing for everybody, right? If you actually truly cared about everybody and said, listen, I'm going to try and do my best to make sure that I'm helping as many people as I can and be a little more selfless. The problem is we're very selfish people, right?
Correct.
And I don't like this, but here's the thing. What if you were a brain surgeon who was great at it, but hated it, but you were saving lives every day? That's different than a lot of other jobs.
Mm-hmm.
So would you say, yeah, I'm going to get up every morning, I'm going to go and operate on some brains, and you could hate it because sometimes people don't make it, whatever it is. But if you had a job that you hated, but you felt like you were actually making a difference, that's a sacrifice, right? If you're actually making a difference to people and you hate it, that's a sacrifice.
That's fair.
I think that if you if you feel fulfilled and your bills are paid, great. If you're not comparing yourself to others, I think that's awesome. I think a lot of people sacrifice their happiness to impress other people, and that's dumb.
Yeah. Comparison is the thief of joy, and that's where we start falling apart.
And
I mean,
and perfection is the thief of good.
correct. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Or the thief of done. So,
Well,
I was.
I've been there this last few months, and it's there.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for a number thing from the Canadian Library Association. So,
well, like I said to you, and like when I did my thesis, like my general philosophy is a thesis is never completed; it's given up upon.
True.
Yeah, because it sounds so awful to say that, and it's like no, because whenever you're doing the editing, as you would know, you're continually making small changes and small improvements.
Yeah.
Okay. And that could never end. You could keep going forever.
It could. And the problem is, like, it's been 16 manuscripts so far. And the last 3, because I've just redone them. The last 3, again, showed it to the people that need to see it. They're like, this is awesome. Like, it's great. I go, yeah, but. And the buts are the problems, right?
But it could be better. I could make it a little bit better.
Yeah. The problem is now I sit there and I dissect every chapter. I'm like, what else should I put in here? And I'm like, oh, what about this? And I got to stop. Stop because as soon as that number comes in from the Library Association, it's going. So I have this window where I can fine tune a little bit, and I'm fine with it.
This is what you got to do. Okay, save a little for the sequel.
I can do that.
That's what it really comes down to. And so, like, there's some pop culture books. Like, I can't think of any of the ones but
Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck.
No. I mean, like, young adult fiction type stuff, right? Like a Vampire Diaries or something, right?
Okay. Twilight.
Or not Twilight, though. Not Twilight. It's got to be more serial that have been kind of made into like TV shows. I saw a little clip on this on how it's actually really it's confusing people. Okay, confusing different generations because the first people who read it, there were certain cultural references in it, right? And they're going back and updating it with new terminology and different things. So instead of like cable TV, they'll say streaming TV. So they're making small changes to the books.
Well, they should try that with the Bible. Can you imagine?
Oh, you mean make a revision of the Bible? That's probably never happened.
Actually, do not add to or take from any of the words, or basically it's eternal damnation. Humility, caution. AC just gave me a scripture. Proverbs 27, 1-3 teaches humility, caution about the future, and the importance of self-control in speech and relationships. Do not boast about tomorrow. It is important to be humble.
1,000%.
1,000% humble. So we're okay. So everybody, we love the fact that you're here. We're going to continue doing lives, but we are launching an actual podcast.
Real live podcast.
Real. It's like really real.
It's going to be official.
And we've been dancing around a few names. I'm what was the Earned Proof? I kind of like that one.
Earned Proof, yeah.
Earned Proof.
There was how many? We must have had 100 different names.
We had 100 different ones.
Yeah.
But how, like, I know that live streams are great and we get the interaction with everybody, but people like to listen to stuff when they're driving,
doing a treadmill or whatever it might be. Yeah.
And we could do a little more of
ignoring their spouse.
Yeah, ignoring their spouse.
Yeah.
But a little more refined version is what we're going for, where we're going to talk to interesting people like AC. You're going to be on the podcast. Just say yes. Just people around that we know, people that are, going out and getting it, and people that inspire us, right?
People who have something that we want. Teach us something to be more gooder human beings.
More gooder human. Can we use that as a title? More gooder?
The More Gooder Podcast.
The More Gooder Podcast?
Yeah. There we go. That's probably taken.
I don't know. I'll ask.
Let's check Gemini here.
If it's there, we're taking it.
There a podcast called the More Gooder.
Doug, you can hop on. Why not? We can talk about taxes and everything else. Like we can. Here's the thing.
I mean, here's the thing. It doesn't have to be as long as like an hour.
No.
There is a currently an active podcast called Which is More Gooder.
No, we can just go
There's
more gooder.
Yeah, there is a More Gooder podcast, More Gooder Than podcast, the More Good podcast, and yeah, so there is 3 kind of along those lines, but there's nothing called the More Gooder podcast.
So going with the humility part of it, which is kind of funny that you said that, and you talk about humility and being humble.
We are so humble.
So humble.
We're
Like,
we're probably the most humble people.
More humble than
Nobody.
anyone. Nobody's
I'm
more
the most
humble.
humble person. Nobody's more humble than
I'm the
me.
most humble guy you'll ever meet. So, your thoughts? 1,000% humble. Is that a? That's one of the names we were sitting with our podcast. 1,000% humble, because we know people that have, whether they've started businesses, written things, whatever, they're so grounded. No matter what, like I have clients that you would swear are normal as anybody, that are
They're good at
major
fooling
players.
everyone, aren't they? Hey,
Right. But I mean, if you can keep yourself grounded, that's the biggest thing, right?
Yeah.
No matter what you do, there are some people that, like, isn't it funny how the dumbest people are the loudest people?
Well, there's a real truth behind that, because some of the people out there who are going to be very loud tend to speak out of a whole lot of insecurities.
Wheat linings? The humble gooder the humble gooder experience. That's not bad. Let's take note of that one. I like the humble gooder experience. I kind of like that.
It's pretty humble, and it's gooder too. So
it's more gooder.
Yeah, more gooder
is most good.
It should be the humbler gooder, the humbler gooder podcast.
Goodest humble guys.
The goodest humbles.
No, we're gonna launch podcasts, and we've been we gave birth to this baby a while ago. We never named it, and
but it's still going.
It's still going. We're not going to stop this, but it's the change, right? It's also it makes it easier for us, kind of, in that we can record it whenever. More humble than than you.
more humbler than thou. That'd be even better.
More humbler than thou podcast. We're gonna play with these, because I think
we get pictures and togas and everything, right?
Oh, have you ever been to a toga party?
No.
I have
never been to a toga party.
I used to work up in Clear Lake, right? So Southgate would have a toga party once a year.
Oh, toga.
Here's the thing with a toga. Wear something other than your underwear under a toga.
Fair. Yeah.
Reason being, which I found out, should someone, random chance, throw up on you, you have a blanket of barf.
That's fair.
That did happen at a toga party at Southgate in Clear Lake.
Oh, to you?
Yeah.
Oh.
It wasn't me. It was somebody.
Okay. Well, somebody. So it wasn't, you were not the projectile one.
No. I just happened to have the blanket in the way of said projectile.
Well, it was it's a sacrifice. You protected someone else, right? So
the Manny Toga podcast.
Manny Toga podcast.
In case you're wondering, thanks for asking. Nobody asked. I had this weird craving. I'm not a beer guy. I never have been, but I had this. Maybe it's summer and I was barbecuing, but a beer and clam just felt right.
There's one thing worse that I've heard of than a podcast, or than a podcast. That's pretty bad in itself. No. But then a toga party. There's one thing that I heard that was worse than a toga party. Okay. Ooh. People would have a depends party.
No.
Yes. And it's going where you think it is. You get some old man depends, and you go and you just drink. And if you gotta go, anytime right there. What?
There are things that are fun. There's fun.
Yeah.
And then
there's fun to hear about.
Yeah, like if someone said, "Hey, I went to a depends party," I'd be like, "Yeah, okay."
Oh,
I'm gonna
good for you.
I'm not gonna delete you out of my contacts, but I'm probably not gonna put you on speed dial.
Yeah. I probably won't invite you over to spend the weekend with my family. I probably won't invite you for supper.
I've been to some crazy Halloween parties, but never that.
Yeah.
But However,
to each their own.
to each their own. Knock yourself out.
Donald has them all the time. He's got the best Depends parties ever.
I wonder,
right?
wonder if the dude does wear a diaper.
You know, the general theory, like, and a lot of people have been talking about that's the secret to poker.
That's the secret.
No
wonder Glenn never leaves the table.
He's not that good. He just outlasts everyone.
He just sits there. He's looking at his cards, and he just like 30 seconds, like
just once in a while, he gets a little.
He's looking at you and he's like, "Okay, I'm in.
Good,
all in."
Now, Glenn is. We got to get him on talking about cigars because that guy's got a collection of cigars.
Glenn is eclectic and interesting.
Yeah,
and I enjoy every moment that I spend with him because there are some people, and here's the thing, Jay and I, this is us having a echo chamber of ourselves, hanging out with everybody here, which is awesome. But doing a live is a little bit different than doing a podcast. But there are so many interesting people that we know collectively that we could sit and just chat for however long, and everybody learns something. We learn something. Like exactly. I think that there's a lot out there. I mean, I had a podcast I was doing years ago, and it was exactly that.
Some things you can't unlearn anymore. So I mean,
if you can unlearn something, okay, everybody chat. If there is something that you've seen or learned that you wish you didn't know or see, let's not go dark.
Well, it'd be the Depends party is up there.
Hey, did you go to one?
No. No, definitely did not. So
here's the thing:
this guy's not wearing a diaper until
let's just say you went to one. Let's just say, because the boys like, hey, we're gonna have a party. Okay, it's a bladder burster. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Would you invite your wife to this said party? Like, there's some things you'd be like, I'm gonna come, but
there's a lot of shame in that one. I think if you were to take somebody that you knew to that party, right? So. Padron Family Reserve, number 50.
Is that
cigar? That's a cigar.
Of course it is.
He likes that one. He's been itching to smoke that one. You know, we should get Glenn over to smoke a pipe sometime. We should smoke a pipe.
We could smoke pipes again. No, I think that we get so. I'm not saying okay. Let's just say that party you're talking about. Is it that crazy of an idea? Kinda. Yeah. But when we're so stuck in our ways that we can't say, you know what? Maybe it'd be fun. Like. Would you say you would never go to one of those parties? This is about change. It's about trying new things. Some people skydive. Some people go to a Depends party.
Have you ever, and you've had this, where you're out with friends or at a party or whatever, and you're like, I'm going to go to the washroom. I'll be back in like 2 minutes. You go there, you come back, and they're laughing hysterically, like just something incredible happened.
And you miss
something. You're like, frick, I missed it. I missed it. Damn it.
I've never had FOMO.
That's good.
I don't feel like I've ever missed out on anything. Like,
no.
I don't. My problem is I'm relatively antisocial. Like I don't go out, and I don't feel. But I also interact with so many people on a daily basis that I don't feel like I'm missing out on it.
You're that kind of the introvert extrovert, right?
It's a weird combination.
Yes, I think it's actually the normal combination in most people. Okay, because as much as people like to say, "Well, I'm an introvert," it's like, but you still go around people, right?
Yeah, I'm not an introvert. I think I'm horrible at schmoozing. I don't like meeting new people. How about that?
Well, I mean, that's fair. I don't like most people get pretty anxious about the concept of meeting people on a continual basis. Like, for example, I had a young kid come in with their mom, right?
Okay.
So she came in and her mom goes, she's kind of nervous. And I said, hey, yeah, I get it too. Like I get nervous about this sort of thing too. I've got to meet new people and they come to me with different expectations. You get to lay there and do nothing. And your mom and I are going to chat the whole time and you're going to tell me your problems. But it's kind of hard for me. I've got to do this 4 or 5 times a day.
Sorry, AC put this thing up there and she powered it into my brain. I'm asocial.
Yeah, I just kind of don't want all the time.
Well, the problem is I typed in what is asocial, and Gemini gave me in Manitoba, a social is
it's a collection of people with a meat
collection
party.
Of social
it's
a
we're sausage party, really. So
yeah, the social is a great idea. And what asocial means: someone who isn't antisocial but isn't out there craving crowds, noise, or constant interaction. That's the middle lane. Huh. Okay, you're fine being around people, but you don't need people. You recharge alone. You don't chase attention. You're selective with your energy, and you're social when you choose to be, not because you feel obligated. Holy shit! I
Is
didn't think
that
there was.
you? Is that
I,
you?
I didn't think there was a name for people like me.
Well, there's enough of you.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
I guess it's Ukrainian,
well, here's the problem.
right? I mean, you guys like to go out and party, but then you want to go home and eat your kubasa.
Of course, but here's the
Right.
thing: considering that we're doing what we're doing on the interwebs,
Yeah.
you would think that would be attention starved, but not really. Like you and I are talking to each other, and
Hold on.
it's like there's a few people hanging out, which is kind of
It's not really attention starving to do something like this, because it's one thing to be like, oh hey everybody look at me, right? And it's another one to be like, hey, I'm gonna do this. And if people want to engage, or more importantly, do they want to be entertained or educated or feeling like they're part of something, that's entirely different.
what I find interesting about live streams, and I did a bit of a deep dive because why wouldn't I?
Of course.
It's people, they come and they hang out like with the host, whoever that is, for whatever live stream, but the viewers in the chat become their own little community within it, and they come to
Yes.
hang out with each other, and they sort of banter back and forth, which is kind of neat.
Right.
But no, I think that it's funny whenever you do kind of a douchebag voice, it's always Trump. Have you noticed that?
Because I think it's just kind
There's
of
nothing
how
wrong.
it is. There's nothing wrong with being a douchebag.
You know, I'm entertained but mildly terrified with what's happening right now.
Which
Now,
part?
that's the thing. Which
Which
one?
part? It's like, my God, if it's like Easter Sunday, he's gonna say he's gonna wipe out civilization. It's like, well, that's pretty Christian.
Are you a social butterfly or a loner? I don't know if I'm a loner. Like I talk.
Oh,
to
that's
a lot
not
of
for
people.
you. That's for the audience.
Yeah, I know.
You're
You know
a
what I
social
should never do
butterfly,
before
though.
doing a live stream is drink something carbonated.
No.
Bad idea. No, I think that we get into this, and I do believe that, like, getting back on track, because we derail this shit all day. Like, see, this is where a podcast would work, where we can actually stay on the track.
This is the big change. We're going to stay a little bit more focused on certain events.
Oh, squirrel. No,
Right.
I think that when you're talking about change and how we stay in the rails and we stay doing what we do because it's comfortable, that's fine. However, there are so many people that have so much potential that if they took that chance and took that leap, there are some pretty awesome things that could come out. Like whether it's starting a business or quitting a job and starting another one, it's that fear, and I believe that fear is the driving force that keeps people in things they don't like. Whether it's it could be a job, it could be a relationship, it could be anything.
Yeah.
And how secure are you if you hate where you are?
Well, I mean, here's a really good example. Okay. Like my wife was a nurse for 17 years, right? And I still remember I just finished my my formal education for osteopathy, and I was at home, and she comes up to me and says, so now that you're done school, I was thinking about going back to school. And I said, oh, okay. Like, what are you thinking? Like more nursing, get your master's or PhD or something? And she goes, no, I'm thinking massage therapy. Okay. That's 17 years. That was a pension. That's health benefits. That's job security. That's all these things. And she just went, I'm ready to throw it away because I am not happy and I don't like the person that I am when I do it. So now she's a much better massage therapist than she was a nurse, and she was a damn good nurse, right? But that was a massive change. And a lot of people can't do that because they think it tends to come easy. But again, like these things come with a great deal of sacrifice because it's not supposed to be easy.
No, if it was easy, everybody would be doing it.
Exactly.
And here's the thing, the time that you had at whatever it is you were doing isn't wasted. It's never wasted.
Correct.
You learn something. And I know that's cliche as shit, but I'll tell you what, that's
all life skills.
Well, what I went through last year, right? Like it was there. It was in the bag. Everything I did, everything right?
Yeah.
Everything. And it didn't happen.
I mean, that's probably for the better, in all honesty.
Sure. And I licked my wounds, but I was like crushed, man. I was like, what the hell happened? I found out why, which nobody was legally allowed to say why. But I was crushed. And I felt like I had wasted, almost a year of my life.
Yeah.
And then something clicked and I was like, you know what? I did something that nobody thought that no one thought I could make it happen. Although I didn't make it happen, I made through every single step of what it took to get there and beat
So
80
I mean,
some people.
really, you did everything. You completed it. You did it, but
Yeah.
because of external situations that were beyond your control, you didn't get it. You
Yeah, that's
kind of
right.
got screwed on it, right?
You know what? I would say they made their decision. However, it would have been nice if they would have just been upfront. Well, as I was at the beginning, I
Exactly.
said, "Hey, here's this. Is this cool?" They're like,
Yeah.
"Yep, no problem." Okay, because they're not legally allowed to say that it's not cool. It was an age thing, by the way, in
Okay,
case nobody cares.
so there we go. There is the thing. At what point in time did we become so sensitive that we can't talk about things that may be greatly affecting a person's life? We have to take everyone into positive consideration, even though it might hurt their feelings. So for you, for example, it's like,
Mhm.
it would have saved a whole lot of time, energy, and money if they said,
Oh,
this is probably not the type of thing. And if they had said something even just politically,
mhm.
like somebody could have come up to you and said, hey, let's just sit back and have a beer for a minute.
Sure,
Okay.
and that would have been acceptable, and that
Yeah.
would have been the right thing to do. But
And
again,
just come up and say, these are my thoughts. I think that maybe this isn't something that is going to
happen.
suit you.
Sure, and I would have accepted that.
And then you would be
In
like,
the
why? It's like, I just
because
think you should walk away.
yeah, because you're 48 years old,
Exactly.
which is fine.
And
But
I think that would have been ideal. And then you could have taken it as a grown up
sure.
and would have been okay with that.
But what was the lesson learned? The lesson learned there, and everybody can take notes if you want to, it's that if you really want to do something, no matter how crazy it might seem, go for it. It might work. It
Yeah.
might not. Okay. So which is where me writing came in. I said, you know what? Screw it. I have a lot to say. I think I can present this in a very, very good way, hopefully, and went to it. And I wrote and I wrote and I wrote and I wrote and I trashed it and wrote and trashed it and wrote and trashed it and kept on going. Because what's the worst thing that happens? Nobody reads it. I don't
Yeah.
care.
You know,
Maybe they do. Maybe I help, 50 or 100 or 1,000 people along the way, which is exactly what I want to do. So eh, no one else is going to do it. I'm doing it. It's happening. It's almost there. And should it go up and not be something? Fine. But at least I did it.
yeah.
So I think that people have so much that they hold in and they don't just say, fuck it, I'm going to do
Yeah.
it. That they end up, that's where regret comes in. And lots of people in their deathbed say, I really wish I would have done this. I should have done this and I should have done that.
So two thoughts I have on that process is number one, and I've said this before, you did everything right and still didn't get what you wanted. That's just life.
That is
That's
life.
You can do absolutely everything correct and still not get what you want or still lose at what you're trying to get. And that's just how it is sometimes.
Well, and I think that there are people that are slightly delusional in the idea that I should have this just because I'm here.
Yeah.
Omakase.
Japanese are out of my hands. It's a Glenn, we were talking about this when it comes to sushi. It's kind of like going into a restaurant
Mhm.
and asking the person, whatever the chef decides to give me,
Right.
which always turns out to be something amazing.
Okay.
Okay. And like Glenn has some good examples on that. The example that I had is I went to a restaurant called Deer and Almond in Winnipeg.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. I went in, the place was packed. There was one table left at the bar. Okay.
Yep.
I walked over, sat down. Bartender is mixing some drinks and he goes, what can I get you? And I said, I have no idea. Why don't you just make what's good for me? And he goes, are you serious? I'm like, yep, just give me what's good. So he grabs the menu or grabs the order sheet, scratches a few things, and he goes, I'm going to get you 3 things. Are you okay with that? Yep, I'm fine with that. Do you have anything that you don't like or any allergies? Nope, nothing at all. Just give her whatever you want. He's like, okay. Sends it away. Food comes. Food's amazing. Okay. Turns out that wasn't the bartender. That was the owner.
Really?
Yeah. So he knew what was good, and he knew what he wanted. He knew what he wanted to show off.
So it wasn't like he saw you and was like, "Okay, it's gonna be a wonton, rice,
Yeah.
and hot and sour
In a
soup."
place like Deer and Almond, it's pretty hipster,
Well,
right?
they'd have to go and
So
they'd have to bring it in.
yeah,
It's
exactly. They're
like this
run,
guy. This guy wants us to give him something that's gonna work for him.
run over to the walk box and get me some fried rice, But
Remember Foodie Goody?
Foodie Goody, it was never goody.
No. What was the bill? Oh, how was the deer and almond? Doesn't matter if it's good. Who cares?
Oh, Deer and Almond was amazing.
But how was the bill?
It was a bit.
Of course it was.
It was worth it, and when I go to a nice restaurant, it's not like I want to be like a big spender, but I'm
Right.
also going to be like not. I don't want if I'm going to ask for something that's really good and the food
better
is
be.
amazing. I don't want to be that guy that goes, "Holy, that was a lot," because it should be respectful to a certain extent.
Well, considering that a lot of people again stay in our comfort zones and people won't like
Yeah.
change, there are a lot of people that think that Olive Garden is fine Italian cuisine.
Oh, you get all the breadsticks you want. So
Right. Or Red Lobster is
you get all the
Chef's
cheesy
kiss
buns,
seafood.
all the cheesy buns you want. Right.
right. So we want the thing that we want, but people want it to be cheap.
So my general theory on life as a whole when it comes to the comfort zones is, we're all in this little comfort zone. That's our little box. Okay. And as we get older, the box starts getting smaller.
Right.
Okay. And the only thing that you can do as a person is push back against the shrinking box. Right.
100%.
And it's your responsibility to do it. If you don't do it, don't be upset when all you're eating is chicken fingers and nuggies when you're 89 years old and upset because it just doesn't taste like it used to.
Can we all just agree on the fact that boneless wings are actually just adults that are too ashamed to say nuggets?
I
They're
would agree
adults,
with that.
but they're nuggets. They're chicken nuggets, guys. Stop calling them boneless wings.
So, okay, here's a real life story from when I worked in Chinese restaurants, right?
Mhm.
We would have, like breaded spare ribs. Okay. So they'd be, small spare ribs, breaded. Actually, they're like my comfort food. Okay.
Yeah.
And people would come in and they would order, I would like the boneless ribs, please. And I was like, you can't have that. What are you talking about? So we would just tell them, okay, yeah, well, that's no problem. And we would just give them pork balls.
Sure, I guess. I mean,
But I mean, it's like you go to get the McRib at McDonald's. They ain't no rib.
no, it's a pressed pile of
Spam,
plaster.
basically, right? It's like spackle in your mouth.
Some experience are. I love chicken wings, and are you a flat or a drum? But some experiences are expensive as long as they're fits in your budget. Here's the thing: I think we should stay in a budget. However, if I am pleasantly surprised with what happened, and you splurge once in a while, that'll happen probably once a year.
Yeah.
Once a year, you're like, you know what, screw it. And you do it and you had a great experience, then it's worth it. If you're doing that every week, then you're not splurging. You're just buying expensive food.
You've just leveled up your lifestyle at that point in time. And unfortunately, you're going to get into a bad situation where you simply have no money, but you can say that you have high quality.
Oh, sure. That was champagne taste and beer money, right?
Right. We see people doing that with wine very specifically. A lot of people love to buy high-end wines. I mean, good for you if you can understand it, if you have a sommelier's based sense. But like my wine taste extends to about 1750, so I tend to get the cheaper stuff.
Well, here's the thing. Wine, I'm a little bitch when it comes to wine. Red, it's too strong. It's too spicy. I like a blush or a white.
Yeah. Blush or okay, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
A rosé.
A rosé or some strawberry angel.
Yeah, maybe some what's that?
Pastel peach.
Arbor mist, right? So
now you're talking. That's fancy.
$8.99 a
If
bottle.
it's a little too much, you just put some Sprite in it.
Oh, beautiful stuff, right?
But
makes me feel like I'm 15 again.
Right?
Baby duck, right?
Baby duck. I got loaded. Here, I'll tell you, sir.
On Baby duck, that'd be a bad hangover.
I'm 18 years old and I go to Country Fest. Now, what you don't have is a lot of money. You had enough money for the ticket, enough money to get there, enough money to buy a pack of hot dogs, a bag of Doritos, and booze. And water was an option.
Yeah.
And I remember we bought like magnums of Baby duck.
Oh, yes.
And I had that in a wineskin. You know what a wineskin is?
I know a wineskin. So it'd be sitting there fermenting all weekend to just getting more and
just
more gooder, right?
I was
just
drinking
warm Baby
duck. Did you
duck.
wash it? No, I don't know what was in there before. And drinking
just
Baby
adds
duck
to the character.
out of a wineskin at Country Fest, bro. And it was not whatever. It did its job, and you felt horrible during and after.
Yeah.
But no, but when you go to again, change. It could be jobs, it could be restaurants, it could be food, it could be like I eat the same thing every single morning for breakfast. How weird
Yes.
is that?
Not at all. I eat the same thing every day for breakfast.
Do you?
Same thing every day for breakfast.
Okay,
Same thing
what
for
if
every day for lunch.
what if that wasn't like how much does it drive you crazy if that's not in the fridge?
Oh, it seriously damages my calm.
Okay, so what do you eat in the morning?
So right now, like my breakfast typically is 1.5 cups of egg whites.
Okay, just
some
drinking.
salsa. No, we're not Rocky here. A salsa, and then I have like some blueberries with it. That's about it.
Okay, I make protein oatmeal the week, like on Sunday. I make enough to use it for the morning. For every morning, I can scoop it out, and it's got blueberries. Oh no, you didn't.
Come on in, bud. Come on.
What if you don't eat breakfast? Coffee counts.
You gonna come up?
I make protein oatmeal with a lot of protein powder and oats and blueberries. That's it. And that's just what I eat. It fills me. I'm good. I also just come from the gym, so it's kind of a good time to have my carbs.
I mean, that's fair.
Right.
I think when it comes down to eating and consistency, simplicity is the best tool that you can use.
Right. But there are things that when I talk about change, okay, when you make a steak on the barbecue, what do you put on it? Do you have one? Well, some people are high seasoning salt. That's the only seasoning salt that they use because that's what they've used for the last 30 years. And that's the only one.
Salt and pepper.
Right. I think salt. I'm a pepper guy. And the odd time I'll put
maybe a little garlic.
I finish them with garlic butter.
Yeah.
So I put them on the top rack. Garlic butter does the thing.
I don't actually use the barbecue much for steaks.
Your thoughts on intermittent fasting?
Fantastic.
Yeah. I think that if you can not eat for 8 hours a day, you're winning.
Now, I will say that there's a lot of buzz on intermittent fasting where people seem to think that it causes some autophagy of different strands around the telomeres, the DNA of the body, and it doesn't really do that. It's not really a big thing where it's cleaving off the inefficient or the damaged components. 6 p.m. to 12 noon. That's not a bad one. That's pretty good.
You don't. That's a long fast.
Yeah, that's pretty good. But I think it's beneficial. It has some really good benefits. It's just the benefits are overstated and overrated. For weight loss, it can help. Because you're going to be eating a little less calories, of course. When it comes to like blood sugar levels, it's fantastic because it can help regulate blood sugar levels. So as a result, it can make a big difference with the potential of affecting people's pain levels.
6 p.m. to 10 a.m. That'd be fine too. Here's the thing. Here's my little nugget of info or my little wisdom thing when it comes to eating and dieting. You realize if you only ate when you were hungry, you'd lose weight. I'm not talking bored.
Yeah.
Hungry. Like you're like, oh my God, I'm hungry.
Yeah.
If you only ate when you were actually hungry.
Yeah.
Not just peckish.
Hey, this morning I woke up and I went, oh God, I do not want to eat any egg whites today. There's no way I could put this down.
So don't.
Well, I still did. I just
didn't
do this way I do, right? I just didn't have as much.
Okay, but and there you go. We're creatures of habit, right?
Yeah.
Like if you didn't have coffee in your house,
yes,
in the morning,
that'd be a tough life.
Okay, but let's just say you didn't have coffee. Like I've been there. Yep. We have emergency pods.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. Yesterday we were out of
break out the Folgers.
It was the Nabob organic, whatever.
Yeah.
But we have our coffee that we have every morning, and there were no coffee filters last night. Oh. Like shit.
Oh no.
I know. I'm one of those savages.
So you got it's a glass box with a hammer on the wall and smash it. Yeah.
Yep. And we had but fine, whatever. Coffee's coffee. In the morning when I get home from the gym, I don't care. I'll drink whatever. I've done Nabob Instant or Nescafe.
Yep. This will surprise you totally. I went off of coffee and was just using green tea.
Why?
Well, okay, so I was legitimately trying a few things. I was seeing if I actually had a little bit of a caffeine allergy, and I was getting a histamine response.
Sure.
Okay, because I was getting a lot of clear my throat, that sort of thing. So it kind of got down to the point that learned that that coffee is a very high histamine releasing drink. It can actually cause a lot of reactions on people if they're sensitive.
Mhm.
So I went for a period of time without drinking coffee.
So
It didn't
again,
help. It did not help.
no, and you probably were a gem to be around. So
I would argue I was a better person.
see, Tash is saying she gave up coffee. I enjoy coffee. I enjoy the taste of coffee. It's my morning thing that makes me bearable to the other humans that are going to be around me.
Yep.
Am I addicted to it? Maybe. I don't care. I'm okay. If there was an addiction that I could be, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm addicted to caffeine or coffee, not caffeine, coffee. I just like it.
Here's the thing though. When it comes to addictions, especially when it comes to coffee, we hit that concept pretty hard-handed because it isn't. We don't have a coffee addiction. We have a habit addiction. Okay.
Right.
Because nobody is robbing a bank to get some money so they can go buy some coffee.
No, but
unlike other drugs, right?
okay. So if you have it's like a comfort addiction, right?
Correct. Yes. 100%.
Okay. So you have a comfort addiction, and coffee is a great segue into the job that you hate that's comfortable.
Yes.
The career that you didn't really think you wanted to be there, the family business you never want to be a part of.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the thing. You've got, just because it's comfortable doesn't mean it's better. Right.
Correct.
And I think that when we get into these, not ruts, but it's a painful comfort, if that makes sense.
There was a story I remember hearing about how they used to train elephants. Okay. So they would put a big chain around the elephant's foot. And then over the years, it got so accustomed to the fact that it can't move away from a certain area that they could take the chain off and the elephant would never leave that area.
Well, that's when hope dies, right?
Yeah.
And I think that happens with a lot of people. I also think that when I say that so many people have so much in them, I'd be willing to bet if we talk to 20 people, we should do this one day. We should actually go just downtown. Well, maybe not, but go around and have a camera and just say, listen, what's the one thing you wish you would have done? And I'm not talking about skydiving. Like, if you could have done something else other than what you're doing today, what would it be? And I think we should ask everybody in our podcast that too. Like, if you weren't doing this, what would you be doing?
That's actually a question I ask a lot of my clients. Okay. Similar. Okay.
Yeah.
I ask my clients, if you were not doing your job right now, what would you be doing?
Yeah.
Right. And a lot of people go right away. They can list it off, like what it is, it's, they would do this or they would do that. And it's like, well, so what's stopping you? Right.
Well, we become defined by the thing that brings us comfort, right? Like, people are defined by their jobs. People are defined by their families.
Yes.
And did you ever see Anger Management with Adam Sandler and Jack Nicholson?
Yeah. A long time ago. Yeah.
When he shows up, we just watched it last week, and Nicholson goes, "Tell me about yourself." He goes, "Well, I work at this thing, but I do this." And he goes, "I didn't ask you what you do for work.
Yeah.
Tell me about yourself." And he goes, "Well, you know what? I've got my wife and this." And he goes, "I didn't ask you about your family life.
Yeah.
Tell me about yourself." And it's so hard because we become a caricature of what we do all day.
Yeah.
And we forget who we are.
Well, what is the common thing that everyone says? When you do that small talk, when you meet a person, it's like, "Hey, how you doing? How's life? Been busy?"
People ask me that all the time.
Right. And so people say that to me, I'll be like, "No." And they're like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." It's like, why? Why are you sorry? This is great. I'm not busy.
Well, and I think that when you, but everybody wants to say they are, because you feel like they want to hear that you are.
Are you busy or are you being productive? That's the big question.
There you go. Am I busy? Yes. Am I being productive? Sometimes.
Yeah.
I get
not
it.
now, that's for sure. But
people ask me that about the market. Like, well, what's the market like? I'm like, are you buying something or selling something? Neither. Then what does it matter?
Yeah.
Curiosity.
It'd be better if you gave me your money and I did some work for you. I'll say that much.
Again, it does. Today doesn't matter. Tomorrow might, and the next day might. But right now, if we're just talking about nothing, then
that's the thing. Quentin, how's the market right now? It's like, I don't know. What time is it now? It's 9 o'clock on a Friday. Probably not much going on.
It's interesting because I take a look at everything in the morning when I get up. But if you think that I know everything that's out there at the top of my head,
right?
Not quite. But
You
again,
really, I thought for sure you'd have everything just completely memorized, right?
it changes.
Yeah.
The goalpost gets moved all the time, right?
Well, there currently are 110 listings in Brandon.
Yeah, that's not all residential though.
No, that's
No,
fair.
that's
Okay.
commercial. That's a lot of things. There's
That's
31 that I know of.
31. Really?
Mm. Might be
That's
less, might be more, but
and
31. And I think there's 10 condos.
how many agents are there?
200, give or take.
It says there's 160. That must be that's residential, but I bet that's the whole Brandon area.
There you
That's
go.
like reaching out to like Forest and everything to
Yeah,
Douglas, Spruce Woods.
yeah, they'd be
That's
all out there.
let's zoom right in here, and now you got 110 listings, but that's probably empty lots too, eh?
Some are pending.
Yeah.
Some are pending. So if they're pending, they're not
Yeah.
really on the market. But
Oh yeah, and we definitely empty lots here too. So
yeah, so there's a lot. But I mean, it's do I think that let's talk about real estate. Do I think that there are people who are doing things that they are passionate about? Sure. Do I think that there are people that have careers that are fulfilling? Absolutely.
yeah.
Do I believe that we could all do more? Maybe, if you want to. Like, I still think I should take up the bass again. Like,
Well, I mean, that's the thing, like I think the biggest problem that people have when the concept of doing more is we're not bored enough, or we're deflecting our boredom over to these little suckers. So if you were to shut this down,
the little glass nightmare machine, yeah.
I think the amount of creativity would explode. I mean, realistically, let's look at it this way. Show me a major advance in cellular technology since the iPhone came out.
The Google Pixel.
No.
It's
the same thing. It's the same thing.
I think that we have a we've traded hobbies for addiction when it comes to the digital landscape, right?
And they're acceptable addictions, what makes it even more dangerous.
I know. Now, do I think that people could go without? Probably.
Here's an even more interesting thought. I think a lot of this stuff is people have changed a way that boredom and that curiosity to something a little bit more destructive, and that this is for men and women. It's different styles of pornography.
Okay. You're gonna go there.
I'm gonna go there because and I'll pick on women on this one. Like, how many romance books are trending right now? Now, you look at some of the statistics, women are reading a lot more than men. Okay. But a lot of the books that they're reading tend to be fiction. So it's the romance or the demons and the medieval type stuff. And they always have these spicy scenes. And it's just a different form of
like 50 Shades of Grey type stuff.
You got it. It's just a different type of stimulus, right?
Well,
as they commonly say, men watch pornography and women read literature.
Is that true, ladies? I've never read a romance novel. But I'm assuming it's like, didn't they call that mom porn?
Could be, right?
Yeah.
But it's starting to get into younger and younger books, and some of the young adult stuff has some of those spicy scenes where the girl's pining for the elvish boy or the half demon boy or whatever it might be, right?
But I think that it's fantasy,
yeah,
but it's not filthy. Like, it's not.
It doesn't have to be filthy.
No. Right? But let's just say, hang on. You don't have somebody on a centerfold, which I don't think those exist anymore, who it's like, I know who that is.
Right.
It's a fictional character that they have dreamt up in their head, and everybody's is going to look different. Everybody's going to be, and
for sure.
It's not better. It's just different, right?
It's hitting on some base needs, some very base primal needs. We're talking about porn.
I think that, but sure, it probably is. But again, if it's fulfilling that fantasy, because let's face it, lots of people, their lives turn very vanilla after a while. And again, the change doesn't happen where the change should happen. And now someone's looking for the spice somewhere else.
I would like to see and I'm sure they've done this, where they've had like functional MRIs or brain activity scans while people are reading and watching various stimuli, shall we say, whether it's reading books, watching movies, seeing pictures or whatever it is. And I would say the stimuli would probably be pretty similar.
What kind of let's go movie Okay, what kind of book stimulates you? Not in that way. But to the point where you're like, you can't put it down. You're like, I gotta keep going with this.
Okay. Oh God, when was the last time I had a book that really caught me off guard and made me go like, "This is amazing"?
Yeah.
You know, like I like the medieval stuff, right?
Okay.
So there's actually some very good books out there that are this author does like a high fantasy type stuff.
Right.
Okay. And you're already getting bored. I get that. Don't worry about it. But
Me? No.
but what's really neat is he made an initial trilogy of books to establish the world and the lore. Okay. And then the next book was all purely about revenge. Okay. So it was like there's torture and all these things. And it was like, oh, that's interesting. Then he came out with another one, which was a war movie. You know, that there were certain things he wanted to do. And this one was all based on around a war, around battles, like, you know, World War II emphasis, but it was all medieval.
Right.
And then the third one, he wanted to write a Western. Okay.
Sure. Why not?
So it was actually fascinating seeing how he wrote these books into these genres.
So you followed it through a number of books.
Correct.
And how long did it take before the dirty stuff started?
The dirty stuff.
Well,
you're very little.
Okay. So, and myself, if I'm going to read a book, I need to learn something.
Yeah.
And I can't do fiction. I wish I could, but I can't. I just get so like, why am I reading this? I'm learning nothing.
That's fair. Yeah.
But again,
it's not always about the learning, though. Sometimes it's about the escapism.
Maybe I need to do that because I'm too. There you go. There's change. I don't read fiction, and there's the change. Now I can read about someone who wrote about fiction.
That's fair. Yeah.
Because I want to see a biography.
Yeah.
50 Shades of Grey is the only naughty book I ever read.
Naughty book.
I didn't read it.
Everybody
else did.
I swear half the population read that one.
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
And I mean, but that's great. And again, it's if that's what they want to read it.
Well, hold on. This is the question that nobody really asks.
Sure.
Was it good?
There's a good question.
You know, because so like we've had like there was a restaurant in Brandon years ago, and people always talked about they gave the portions were huge.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and everyone talked about how huge the portions were. There was amazing. The food was amazing. There was so much of it, and I would ask them like, "But was it good?" Well, yeah, there was a lot. Say, but was it good?
Right. Yeah. We do the like the hot and ready pizza from Little Caesars. Is it good? No, it's hot and it's ready.
No, it's hot and ready. What more do you want?
That's
Shut up and eat it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like the Mr. Bones. It's like, was it good? Well, you get 4.
Yeah, it's as good as you're gonna get for $30.
Right? It's just what do you can't be really upset when you're not paying a lot.
No, but there are some here's a brand. Here's the thing that people are very somehow for some reason. And you talk about change. I know some people that will only drive a Ford. I know some people that only drive a Dodge. I know some people that only drive a Chevy.
Yeah.
And they will die on that hill. And hell, there's no way there's going to be something other than a Ford in my driveway. I'm like, are you being sponsored by them?
Yeah. Are we 12?
But people do it. It's like they're the best. Like everybody makes something good. I would say that everybody makes good stuff.
But when I was in high school, I drove a Ford.
Okay. Yes, I find that hard to believe.
Yeah, I bet you do. Right,
I do.
And well, to be fair, it was really a Mazda dressed up as a Ford.
There you go.
Okay, so tell the truth, right?
Right.
And I would have people bug me all the time about that. Like, well, it's a Ford. I'm like, what's wrong with a Ford? I mean, like, you're 16. What do you know about cars?
More millionaires drive Ford than any other vehicle.
Oh, well, there we go, right? And they would look at me and they go, well, because it's found on road dead. I was like, but what does that mean? They're like, found on road dead. It's like, is there more? Yeah. Is there more repairs? And one guy goes, well, it's easier to get parts if you had a Chevy. I'm like, is it really? Like, you could just go to the store and get the parts you need, right? I don't think there's a big issue here.
Well, yeah, it's a car. I don't care. Like, I'm not married to any kind of vehicle. I don't care as long as it gets where I got to be. I'm happy.
Does it go somewhere?
Exactly.
Does it get you? Are you alive when you get there?
Yeah, that makes a good point. The book very detailed compared to the movie, but went without. Yeah, could have went without reading it. Only right because everybody else was talking about it. And there's another thing. We do jump on bandwagons.
Yeah.
Not saying that was happening. But remember The Secret?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oprah said read it, so everybody
Yeah.
read
So everyone read it. Yeah.
And it was, I find it was, I get it. If you put it out there, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
No, if you put it out there
And then do the work.
and then do the work, it'll happen.
Yeah.
But if you just put it out there and wish, like,
Yeah.
wishes don't get you too far.
You know, I mean, there's the thing we see a lot of people for a few years ago around COVID. You know, it was like, yeah, I'm doing this business, I'm doing this thing, I'm doing whatever, and I'm gonna have a lot of success with it. It's like, oh, like, are you spending a lot of time working on it? No, manifest. I'm manifesting it. I was like, what does that mean, guys? Like,
It's an educated wish.
like, come on, you can't just say, you know, I'm going to put it out there and I'm going to manifest it. It's like, you still got to show up and do the work here.
Yeah, if you believe that things are just going to happen because you have good intentions, you're lying to yourself.
I've tried to make that work, you know, and I'm sure you've done the same thing too with like winning the lottery. You know, like if I win this $100 million, I'm going to be the most altruistic person, most generous person. I will give away so much money and do so much good, and you still don't win.
No, you're not. Okay, let's ask chat. What would you do if you won $1 million tomorrow? What would you do with it? Like, what would you? And I'm curious because here's the thing. You know how much money it takes to change your life? Really? Like, really, how much money does it take to change your life?
Well, man, like, have you ever reached into your pocket when you pulled it out of storage and you found $20?
That's a win.
How much did that change your day?
It's a good day. You start off with a 20 you didn't have earlier.
Right. So it's kind of one of those things that I was like, you know, I'm just going to do that every season. I'm going to put a $20 bill in my jacket pocket.
Yep.
And I'll forget about it until next season. I'm going to pull it out and be like, I got $20. This is a good day.
Yeah, I'm going to buy myself something nice. I'm going to buy an eighth of a tank of gas.
Buy a coffee.
Actually, again, we're going to get off topic like we always do. I'm at Sobeys grabbing some steaks. And the guy that works at the Zane, he works in the produce department. He goes, "Did you see the price of bananas?" I'm like, "No." Like, aren't they the cheapest fruit you can buy? He goes, "Pretty much."
Yeah.
99 cents a pound. I'm like, and he goes, "I've never seen them above 79 cents."
Right.
There's this little surcharge that's going on. And that's going to cause some people to make some changes, some healthy changes, hopefully.
Yeah.
But people are going to make some changes because it's going to get more expensive. So people are going to have to get out of comfort zones. And again, if what's happening isn't paying that, you're going to have to find another way to make some money.
Here's a weird thought. Have you ever had banana flavoring? Remember when you were young and you had banana flavored antibiotics or something?
I remember the marshmallow candies that were not great, but okay, go ahead.
But they taste nothing like bananas, right? The banana flavor tastes nothing like banana.
You're right.
Okay. Do you know why?
No.
Okay. So back in the day, bananas were an entirely different fruit. Okay.
Okay.
And that's what the flavor of banana is based on. But then there was actually a global pandemic, I guess, for bananas, and it wiped out bananas across the world. And we came up with this new banana, like through some modifications and stuff, that is kind of an offshoot of banana, but a little bit different. So these bananas are essentially all a monoculture or a clone of what bananas were.
So we've never had a banana.
You have probably never really had a real banana based on what they used to taste like.
I've never eaten a plantain.
Okay. Yeah.
Have you ever eaten a plantain?
I've had plantain.
Is it a banana?
It's like a potato.
Really? It looks like a banana.
Potato-y almost. Yeah.
Okay. I never had that. See, there you go. Will I change? I don't know. Why would I eat one?
So here's even a weirder part that goes in part with that banana story. Okay. So do you know why if bird flu hits chickens, why they just kill them all?
No.
Because chickens are essentially all clones. They're a monoculture too. They're very, very genetically identical when you buy them in the store.
That makes sense. But here's a question for everybody. And this
Scary.
is you know those questions that kids ask you when they're going to bed? And you're like, where the hell is this coming from? What happens to all the dead birds?
Oh, that's simple.
No. Is it?
I mean, do you mean like dead wild birds or dead
birds?
Like processed birds.
Birds die.
Okay.
How
They
often
get
do you see a
eaten
dead?
by other
How
birds.
often do you see a dead bird?
Oh, once in a while. Once in a
Not
while.
not very
often, though.
often.
They probably get eaten by other animals.
You would think, but you would think you'd see, considering how many birds are in the sky, you would
Yeah.
find dead birds somewhere.
You would think so. Yeah.
You're telling me every dead bird just gets, other than the odd one you see, but if a deer died, you'd see the dead deer.
So I saw a TikTok video or like an Instagram reel where they were talking about at one point in time in history down the States, this whole county was just like pummeled with dead birds.
Well, that happens sometimes.
Yeah. And it was like they don't know why, but they think that like just this flock of birds got the same disease or something, and they just all croaked, fell out of the sky.
Okay, would you eat a pigeon?
No,
Why?
no. I've heard way too many negative stories.
Well, if they were again, we're going with change. Would you again say chickens are done? Say all the chickens are gone.
Well, I mean, pigeons are eaten in a lot of like even Western culture.
Sure. So why wouldn't you eat a pigeon? Why do we only eat the ugly stuff?
Yeah, because I don't know why. Probably because there's not a lot of meat on them.
It doesn't matter. You're hungry, man. There's no birds.
You ever eaten a Cornish game hen?
Yes.
There's not a lot to them, right?
No.
No.
It's like a prairie chicken. I've shot prairie chickens. There's not a lot of meat.
There's not a lot of meat to them. So I think sometimes it's just not worth it. Now, if you had to, that'd be different.
And a chicken's almost not enough, and a turkey's always too much.
I would agree. You know, if you have like a big chicken, that's going to be enough for a couple. It's enough. A big chicken, like an 8 to 10 pound chicken, is enough chicken that you're sick of it for a while.
Not a lot of 8 to 10 pound chickens in the store.
No,
they're usually about 4 or 5 pounds.
Talk to the Hutter rates.
Right. So but I mean, a turkey's too much, and you'll never finish that son of a bitch.
You know, it's really hard to finish a turkey.
With that attitude, absolutely.
Yeah, it is. You know, it's the same thing. Like, okay, would you rather eat turkey or ham?
I eat more ham.
Yeah, ham. You could just keep putting it down, but turkey, you get tired of it real quick.
You do. No, I think that we're stuck in our ways as far as what we eat, and we're stuck in our ways as to what we do, and we're stuck in our ways in a lot of things. And there's a lot of things that have been the same for way too long. Like we can get into the educational system; it's been the same for so long, and it's not evolving.
Yeah.
But why is that? Like, do we not? Wouldn't it make sense as the world changes that kids are taught differently and the education system slides into what's relevant now?
That would make sense, but then it has a compromise of job security, and you will always have people who are bucking at change. Now, like I have a lot of teachers, and I'm sure you do as clients too, right? And I find when they're in like about 15, 20 years in, they start going, you know, because they have to say continuing education, and they're going, oh God, this is coming back around again. I thought we got rid of that 15 years ago.
It happens, but I think that when you talk about the careers that are being, careers are changing. They are.
Yeah.
And a skill set that you thought you wanted back in the day isn't going to do much for you tomorrow.
Well, so what did you think you were going to be when you grew up?
Me?
Yeah.
I really want to be a marine biologist.
Oh, in the prairies. That's a good job, eh?
And I'm allergic to fish, so
you're allergic to fish.
I wanted to work at like Marineland.
Yeah.
I think I watched too much Danger Bay back in the day.
Danger Bay, or
I wanted to work with like whales and otters and stuff.
Danger Bay, what was that guy's? One of that old guy's name was like Relic or something like that,
right?
That
was a Beachcombers.
Or the Beachcombers, yeah.
Relic.
What a great name.
Bruno
Gerussi. Yeah, what a great name. Great name.
Yeah, but the thing is, we have. What did you want to be when you grew up? I don't know. I don't know what I wanted to. I wanted to pass. I wanted to get through school, get done, and then I just started working, and I eventually found it.
So, if you had a 17-year-old kid who asked you what career would be good to get into, like where should I be looking for careers?
Work with your hands.
What would you even say?
Work with your hands.
Something trades, yeah.
Trades. You're in a trade, technically.
Yeah.
I'm in a trade, technically. Yeah. I think that working with your hands means that you will always be needed because not that many the AI is not going to do that yet. But I think that if you think just because your uncle was a doctor and your brother's a dentist that you should be in medicine, does that mean that you should do it? What if you can't do it? Like, what if you just aren't going to pull the grades off? But they're both working with their hands.
Well, I mean, we have to look at it this way. You look at these, kids, 12, 11, 13 years old or whatever, and people are going up to them and going, "So what are you going to be when you grow up?" It's like they don't even know what these jobs entail.
Well, part of the problem is the fact that they're let's go 13, 14, 15, 16. They're not working
Yeah,
like they used to. They're not getting
correct.
jobs that save up for the first car because mommy and dad are buying them one. They're
Yeah,
not going through these jobs that are entry level and learning how to work.
yeah,
It's like kindergarten teaches you how to learn,
yeah.
right? Or grade school does.
Well,
Teaches you
it
how to
teaches
learn.
you. Kindergarten teaches you not to bite other kids.
Sure. Yeah, but yeah, you're not wrong. But I think that your beginning education teaches you how to learn things.
Yes.
And I believe that your initial jobs in your teens, it's teaching you how to work and
Yeah.
how to maintain a job. Hate it or love it, it teaches you how to do that. And if you graduate high school and you've never had a job, you're going to think that you can do anything. And I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Well, you need to work at some shit that you don't like. Like, do the jobs you don't want, and you'll know where you don't want to be.
Well, that's the big thing, and unfortunately, we've done a very good job of telling people you can be anything you want to be when you grow up. No, you can't. Like
No,
you really can't. Like if you're an idiot, chances are you're not going to be smart unless you really change something in your lifestyle. Like we talk to like I see a lot of kids who are like, "Well, I want to be doctor or accountant or
sure.
whatever." And I always ask them, "Why do you want to be that?" And they always say, "Well, because I want to help people." It's like, "What? You could be flipping burgers and that's helping people too."
Uh-huh.
Right? And they go, "Well, yeah, but that's not what I want." It's like, "Okay, so what do you want?" It's like, "Well, I want to help people. Like, I want to help people." It's like, again, you could be doing these simple menial jobs.
You want to make a lot of money helping people is
Be
what you
honest, you want the prestige and the money,
for sure. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I think it's ridiculous when someone shames somebody for making great money.
right?
Like, you're making good money, good. You're working
Yes.
and you're earning every penny that you're getting. If you're sitting your ass and you're complaining, and you're not earning any, like, you the bare minimum should be the bare minimum and then go up from there. But if you're
People
happy, dude, I know people that make very little money that are extremely happy, but they live
yeah,
a life that allows them to be.
the suits what they bring in. And like this is the big thing. Like the amount of criticism that I've had, and probably you as well, about that's what you're doing for a living. So why do you care how I make money?
Well, I stopped giving a shit what people thought a long time ago. And the loudest the loudest are usually the most miserable.
Yeah.
And the people that are going to lift you up, and it sounds so cliche, the people that are going to lift you up are people that are working as hard as you, if not harder.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they want to see that. Like, I applaud success and I always will. I think that if you can, I hope that everybody here makes $1 million. I really hope you do.
You will
Everybody should.
never get flack from a person who's doing more than you.
No,
Like ever,
no.
because they understand what the type of hustle. They understand the struggle. Now, I've had a lot of people, bitch or complain, "Oh, must be nice to make that kind of money."
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
The
it
harder you work, the
is.
nicer it is. That's 100%, and you shouldn't shy away from that.
No.
But I think that if you're gonna, if you're, here's the thing, I feel bad for people like that because obviously something's breaking in them
Yeah.
to lash out at you for working your ass off and not taking a day off and doing, like, you
Yeah.
don't see the behind the scenes thing. And I look at teachers that are, yes, they're thankless within the classroom, lots of them,
Yeah.
but not them, but lots of like no one is really giving them a pat on the back. Then they go
Yeah.
home, then they're marking, then they're doing lesson plans, then they're all this other stuff. And people bitch, well, yeah, but you get 2 months off in the summer.
Ugh,
Holy
yeah.
shit. You know what?
Yeah. And they're unpaid for those 2 months.
Right. So stop. Like, stop. If you're miserable where you are, stay in your pit if you
Yeah.
choose to. You have every opportunity to stay in there. If you get yourself out, guess what? Somebody that's up there who's been grinding is going to help you get out of it. They'll help you. Like, holy shit,
Yeah.
you're doing this? Yeah, I'll support whatever you're doing. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
And I do believe that we do get into these traps where we don't make a change because
No, they're not. Their total income, gross income, is split up. Either they can get paid for the 10 months,
or
or they can get
12.
12 at a
Yeah.
reduced amounts.
Yeah. You can choose that. Either way, it doesn't matter. Like it's fine. But I think that if people are going to complain because someone has a job that they feel is easy, spend a day doing their job.
Yeah.
You know, you got a guy who's making an insane amount of money doing whatever, like, oh, it must be nice. He just sits in his office all day. Go do it.
Yeah.
Please do it.
Comparison is thief of joy. You know, like I've had even clients come in and you know, I'll tell them, you know, you need to do some exercise, and they're like, my job is really busy. And it's like, well, it doesn't count. You know, like the whole point of exercise is to remove the repetitive strains that accumulate in your body.
Right.
And then they get really mad. You know, oh yeah, well, I'd like to see you try my job, see if you can make it through the day. I'm like, I don't need to. You couldn't get through my day, and you're the one who's in pain.
Well, you know,
you're here.
I know people that love their jobs that aren't jobs that aren't what's the word? Glamorous.
Yeah.
I know a guy who he's a tow truck driver.
Yeah.
He loved his job until health-wise he could do it. Loved it because he goes, you know what? Here's the thing, Quentin. He goes, you're actually you're helping people on the side of a road in the middle of the winter. He saw that as a very noble profession, and hats off to him, and he was very good at it.
Yeah.
And going back to dirty jobs, there was a guy who I remember this episode where this guy repaired septic tanks.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know how you have to do
you get into the muck.
You get in, and he's sitting there and he's showing him, yeah, I get in here and I do my thing. And he started his business doing septic tanks. Here is the interesting thing. He goes, so how the hell did you, you've been around a while, how did you end up doing this? He goes, well, I was kind of tired of what I was doing, so I wanted something that was going to I want to enjoy my work.
Yeah.
He was a psychiatrist.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he goes, I stopped. He goes, why? He goes, I was sick of dealing with other people's crap. And he got into that. Here's the thing. If you could have a high paying job, you could have a prestigious job, you could have a lot of things. And if you're miserable, you can do something else. And this guy started a septic repair business, and he did that, and he was happy. He went to work, he did his thing. The stress level was low. Was it glamorous? No. Was it shitty? Probably. But he wasn't dragging that home with him. There's a lot of nuance that goes into the type of work someone's like a nurse, a psych nurse, a cop, or whatever. You have no idea what they're going through. Now, would they change jobs if they had the opportunity? Probably. This guy did. And I think that's super cool when someone takes something that's like here and goes to something that is seen as lower, but he's like, bro, I am so happy doing this.
The problem is what a lot of people experience is because a lot of those jobs that they feel stuck in come with a very high pay scale, right? So you get very accustomed to a certain lifestyle, a certain income. So moving to something different is going to come with a major sacrifice for either a short period of time or a long period of time. And some people can't handle that change in lifestyle.
So this is where we go back to the lottery. When I asked how much money would it take to change your life, you didn't give me a number.
No. $20. I said $20.
$20. Yeah. So the number is between $150,000 and $200,000.
That's fair.
Would be a positive change in life, where $1 million could ruin it.
Okay.
But $150,000 to $200,000 could be a positive change in your life. Why is that number? Why is that the number?
Because it doesn't drastically change anything.
No, but it could take all the pressure off.
It can take your debt away. It can reduce some of the fear. If I had $250,000, it'd be just going into different investments.
And
that's security.
But it could give you choices. So if say $250,000 lands on your lap, you could eliminate that. Suddenly you don't have a mortgage, you don't have a payment, nothing. Okay. Yeah. Payments and you still have money to burn. You still have money to live off after.
Yeah, it's tough on $250,000 in this market, but okay, I get your general idea. Yeah.
You could pay your mortgage off. It's enough that it would make a big change in your life, but it
would take worry away. If you get rid of worry, then all of a sudden people's lives get a lot nicer.
Right. So if worry was gone, would you still be doing what you're doing every day when you wake up? I would, but would you still be doing exactly what you're doing? Or would you say, you know what? I'm not going to do this. I'm done. I'm going to quit my job. I'm going to do something else. I'm still going to work. because you're not going to have enough money to stop working.
Right.
But if you don't have any debt, no
Right.
mortgage, no nothing, you could change that, make less money, have the same lifestyle.
But here's the issue, okay? And this is something you see all the time. Okay, you see people come into that situation where they get some sort of massive inheritance, they win a lottery or something, and that is what they do. They pay off their debts and they rack it up by living outside their lifestyles again, because people do not have the financial education or the responsibility to deal with that kind of windfall of income, and that's the problem that a lot of people have.
That's where I think a lower number would be maybe a more positive change, like 100 grand.
100 grand, you're not. If I won 100 grand, I wouldn't even be paying off any debt.
No, but I mean, you
know?
would be able to take a little pressure off for a bit. It'd be enough to, if you spread it out, it would make a change in your life a bit.
It would, you know what? Realistically, like completely honest, I would be taking that money as found income, investing about half of it, and putting the rest into something like whole life policy or something which can be used for generational wealth for grandchildren.
Legacy is something people don't think about anymore.
Exactly.
Our parents did.
Yep.
And that's something that, is it because it's harder? Yeah, it's tougher these days, for sure. There's a lot less money going around.
Sure. But it also doesn't take a lot of money to leave a legacy behind.
No, because you can do it in a more controlled way, right?
We're looking at very long term. We're looking at, when did you have kids? How old are your kids?
12 and 11.
Okay. 12 and 11. So you were, like you're 36, 37, right?
Yeah.
So if you're at 36, 37, you start setting something away appropriately, whether it's like life insurance or RSP or RESPs or whatever. Okay. You can have a whole lot of money set aside by the time they turn 21.
Sure. Or they could earn their own life.
Or they could do that. Now, but this is where I think, okay, it is one thing to earn their life. It's one thing to give them a hand up. Okay. Okay. So now again, with that same concept, which is literally following the same process, if you could give your kids a very good start on a house when they turn 24, that would take a lot of worry out of the kids too. And we can plan that. We can plan that. We don't have to hope for it.
Well, I think that like it's the way we're raised too. Where like my family did very well for themselves. My parents did very well for themselves. And I remember asking my dad once for like a Nintendo. I'm like,
yeah,
we've got the money. He goes, I have money.
Yeah.
You have shit.
Yeah.
You want that? You're gonna go get it. There was no handouts, nothing.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that they couldn't. However, they weren't going to, because what would that teach me? Someone else is going to pay my down payment?
Yeah.
Like there's nothing wrong with it. You, by all means.
I would also say that you probably have your kids set up so if they decide to take education, they're going to be having an easier time of it.
We did not, our parents didn't pay for our education. They're
no.
Like, you want to college? You're paying for it. That's just
are you doing that to your kids?
Yeah.
RSPs, that sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
Because it was also very different back then.
Well,
the cost of education was very different too.
To scale though?
Scale is pretty damn cheap still though.
Right.
Living expenses are pretty freaking hard though.
Yeah, they are. But I mean, here's one thing that I never understood. You went to school, you had your Ford, I had my Ranchero.
Yeah.
When I hear someone talking about getting their kid their first car, like, yeah, we're just going to lease something for them. I'm like, are you shitting me?
No.
No. Like, you know what? There wasn't in the parking lot of our school warranty.
Yeah, exactly. The number of times I had to push start cars and stuff like that in the middle of winter, or because they got, they died or something.
Sure.
It was just what it is. But like, I think there are some very strong things that you can be doing, especially for your family, for setting up various trusts of not necessarily gifting, but perhaps creating your own family banking system, right? Where you can borrow against the equity that's involved in that trust and paying it back to perpetuate it for years to come.
Sure. But that's something that 4% of the population is going to understand and do it, right?
Yep.
Now, again, nothing wrong with it, but I do think that trust fund babies, well, here's the thing. And where have you ever seen a trust fund baby function properly in life? Not many.
There's been a few.
There's been
not many. There's not many. But I mean, I mean, wealth in itself can be fleeting. You know, you can take a look at some of the Americans. You get um, uh,
Kardashians.
no, I'm thinking the Vanderbilts
Okay.
for one, right? So their family almost completely exhausted their entire wealth, and they're one of the wealthiest families in the United States historically. There's still one of them who's essentially self-made for the most part because he got nothing. Anderson Cooper, right?
He was a Vanderbilt.
He's a Vanderbilt. Yeah.
Well, and I think that if you, I believe that yes, you should be able to help.
Yeah.
Should they expect it? No, never.
Those expectations are what create problems. They increase attitude. It creates entitlement.
And do I think that? Here's the thing: if it's an education that's going to pay off, that'd be one thing.
Yes.
If you're going for some bullshit
gender studies or something,
yeah, like knock yourself out, pay for that.
Yeah.
I'm not paying for some bullshit
Yeah.
that's there's no job attached to it. Like, again, philosophy, I know, I get it, people take it, but I've never met a philosopher ever in my life, ever.
No. And you know what? I would even argue that out of any of the courses that people should learn, okay, or anything that people should learn, would be something like philosophy, like Stoicism and such, but it's not going to give you a better job. It'll make you a better human being, but only when you're older. When
You know what else?
18, 19 is going to be of no purpose.
You know what else is something that a lot of employers won't say out loud, but your resume means shit.
Yeah.
No one cares.
No
one cares. Your very few resumes actually get looked at unless it's a government position where it's a very form, and you have to hit every check mark. Then you get the job.
A lot of those high-end jobs, people want a CV. They don't want to just see like a resume. They want to see some real actual accomplishments, right?
They want to know that you can do it. They want to know that someone's vouching for you.
Yeah.
And if I was looking at a resume, the first thing I'm going to look is references.
Yeah.
And that's it. Then when I call a reference, I'm going to say, who do you think I should talk to about this person?
Yeah.
And then they'll give me a number that's not on that page.
Yeah.
Now that's how you figure it out. Do a deep dive into their social medias. That's a big one. But I think that your experience and your skill set has to outshine whatever piece of paper you hand to somebody, because you're one of 8,000 pieces of paper on the table.
Unfortunately, the reality is true. And they don't know what you look like, but they can sure quickly find out if you have any presence online. It doesn't take much to find social media.
I've done a deep dive. Did I show you that? I think I told you that I did a deep dive with AI. I said, tell me everything you know about me.
Yeah.
And I forgot so much shit that there was on there. It was good. Like, it's nothing wrong, but I'm like,
so people are going to be finding that, like there's a thing. And if there's any public records of, like creepy behavior or whatever, it's going to show up too.
It's going to show up. But I do think that we're scared to change, although we know we should. And there are reasons that you can't, because life. That makes sense.
Yeah. Well, life does get in the way. Life has this unhappy situation sometimes of, kind of gets in the way. But I mean, that's just how it is. And you can't get away from that for a lot of people.
No, but the world adjusts. And like, if you say, this is how I'm working now, that's just how it is.
Yeah.
Like I'm unless I have to come back to do a deal, like a real estate deal, I'm done. My Saturdays are shut down here in the summer. I'm spending my time with the camper, and my guys will come in on any other day of the week.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Good.
Yeah.
Don't work Saturdays on the weekends if you can avoid it.
No, it's gonna be in the winter. I will, because I got nothing else to do. But in the summer, if I have to rip back to take care of business, I'll come take care of business. But I'm not going to come back for a
haircut,
couple cuts. Like,
exactly. It's not even gonna pay for your gas.
No, but I mean, I'll adjust things so people are taken care of.
Yeah.
But there's a time. It's just time to do my thing. It's like, I'm doing this.
I would look at it this way though. Like, our jobs are appointment based.
Yeah.
Okay. And there's a certain amount of give or take, a certain amount of respect that goes both ways for flexibility and such, right? Mm-hmm. But if people know that you're not around in the weekends, on summer, and people start bugging you, I need you to come in on Saturday. It's like, okay, you know what? You have massively overstepped our relationship here, because I am not a servant.
$100. What? $100?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll come in, but this is what's going to cost you.
I don't want to be there. If you want it that badly, it's going to cost you. We call it surge pricing, right?
Well, I think that it's now we're getting way off topic, but no, it's you have to have boundaries. I mean, my phone shuts off at 9:30 again, unless I'm actively working a deal.
That's
My
fair.
phone does not ring. You could phone me, it ain't gonna ring.
And
And
that's unusual for real estate agents because some of you guys are working 24/7.
no one's working 24/7. Like you bullshit, and I'll call it out. I was
They
at
say
the
they
office.
are. They say they
They're
are.
not. I was at the office till midnight on Monday or Sunday. I forget what day it was. Till midnight
Yeah.
because I got a call at 9:15. He's like, "Hey, I want to ask you about this." I'm like, "Well, they're presenting offers like tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. So if you're calling me this late, get in your truck. Let's get to the office and let's write this thing up." And we did. Yeah, I'll do that. But again, 9:30 at night. Who?
Yeah. Who's calling you at 9:30 at night saying, "Hey, I want to go take a look at this building right now"?
Then I'll call them tomorrow
we'll see
morning
you
because I'm not
tomorrow.
calling them at 10 o'clock.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
we'll book this thing for tomorrow. And
Yeah.
again, a little bit of respect goes a long way. And if anybody says they're working 24/7, they're full of shit.
Well, it makes it sound like you're really on the ball then, right?
I'm on the
So,
ball, but guess what? I'm more effective for 12 hours, for 16 hours a day than 24.
so
Do you
like,
want the guy that's working 24/7?
No, God, no. Years ago, I remember it was a Monday. I know what day it was. It was a Monday because it was after the weekend, right? It was in the summer. I'm sitting at the desk, and this lady swings the door open, right? Back when we were over 15th.
Yep.
She rips my open and close sign off the door, walks in, slams it down on my counter, and said, "Your hours, I can't see them." And I was like,
Oh,
sorry, it's summer, they kind of faded in the sunlight.
sure.
And she goes, "Yeah, I can't see your numbers. I came here last night and I couldn't see the numbers. My friend needed a massage. I thought I would give you the business.
Oh, it's a walk-in place.
But you were closed and I couldn't see your hours to get a hold of you or your contact information." And I'm going, this is the middle of summer. Okay. And she goes, "I put my high beams on to see if I could see it a little better, and I couldn't see a thing." So I was like, "So you came to my business in the evening after sun went down on a Sunday and was expecting me to come into work?"
I believe this person needs an optometrist.
And I was like, "Wow, I'm sorry I can't help you." And she got quite upset and she stormed out, and I never saw her again.
Well, you know what?
That was wonderful.
That's fine. And there are people, like, here's the thing. If you're welcome to leave at any time.
Absolutely. It's I love those stories because those are I could write a book of stories of clients who didn't come back.
Well, and that again, there's someone stuck in their ways. That there's a classic example of someone who in their mind, if they bark the loudest, they get what they want, and they can piss off because I'm not dealing with that shit. You're not gonna.
Yeah.
And if you think you can strong arm people, I think one of the worst personality traits out there are the people that believe they can strong arm people just by being loud.
I agree.
Being nice works a whole lot better. Like if I called you on a Sunday, let's just say, and it's me, and we know each other.
Yep.
And I couldn't move. First, I'd feel like an asshole for calling you. I'd be like, "Jay,
that's fair. Yeah.
I don't know what to do, man, but I can't move. Like my back hurts, whatever." Would I expect you to jump in your car and come over here? No, but I'd be like, "What should I do?" And
what do you do? Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
and in reality, like when I've had that sort of situation where I've had friends go like, I need some serious help. It's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, because they would never do it. Like, the people that are asking you are the people that would never ask you.
Exactly. And those are the people that you're like, okay, yeah, I don't mind going out of my way, right? And I mean, I've done that. You've done it too. But there are certain people who are going to take advantage of that any chance they can get.
Oh, I've gotten a text at, like, again, in the shop. Yeah. Again, even in real estate, it's appointments. Like, okay, we're booking it, and it's not just you and I. It's you and me and the seller and their agent, and we have to make sure this all lines up. And I make it happen. But in the chair, if I'm home and it's Sunday and you're saying, "Hey, can I get in tomorrow?" I'm like, "Dude, I'm out. I'm back here in the studio anyway. If you want to come by for a haircut, come right now."
Yeah,
that's different. Yeah. But when you start calling on every Sunday, I'm like, "No,
we've got a problem here. Now this is a problem." Yeah,
I do believe. Oh shit, we're getting to the end of the night. I think that let's get to some closers. First of all,
close it up here,
guys. Yes, we're launching an actual podcast, which will be a little more streamlined, and we'll keep on track. I think it'd be great to have a lot of we're gonna have a lot
It
of people
will.
on
It
their
will
phone.
probably not every single one will not be 2 hours. I'll say that much.
No, God, no. But it'll be conversations
Well,
like
no,
this
that'll
is
be good conversations.
yeah, this is interactive. That'll be conversations. We're looking forward to it. I think that thanks to the doing this for over a year, we've been doing this,
Has it been
and
that long?
it's been
Eh?
that long, but
Yeah.
it's been quite a while. But doing this is sort of one, I don't know, false sense of security that we can pull it off. But I do believe there's a lot of really interesting people that we can talk to, and
Yeah.
it is change. It's switching it up. We're still gonna do some. Oh, well, we're still gonna do our lives. It's just gonna be we're gonna have
Still gonna
something
be
that people
fun.
can just listen to whenever they want.
Yeah.
But I do think that that's gonna be a change. I do believe that if you want to try something, just do it. Like the worst thing that happens is nobody listens, but we still have fun making it, which is fine.
Like there's the big thing. People complain about life is tough, and life is tough. Okay, absolutely agree. But if you're going through hell, you don't stop part way, right? You get all the way through.
You get all the way through, and I do hope my hope for people is that they either learn to love what they're doing by maybe getting better at it or changing something about it, or move on.
Yep. Go do
And
something go make some change and be scared while you're doing it, because that's the best part about growing. If you're
well,
not growing, if it's not scary a little bit, is it really worth doing?
it's evolve or die, right? You either
Yeah.
evolve or you die, and sometimes you're dead for 10 years before you even die.
Everyone goes through that where they just can't, and then they got to make a decision, either shape up or ship out, right?
Yeah, and but I do think that there's a lot of people when you have a we live in a time right now that is so amazing that anybody can start a business doing anything. It's insane that you can start a business from a laptop,
Yep.
right?
With you
And
get from a laptop, from a cell phone.
from your cell phone.
My God, right?
Like there are people like influencers that are making. Did you see who's that guy? He's I think he's an African guy that just reacts to stuff.
Yeah. KB or something.
Yeah, he sold his likeness
Yeah.
to I think it was Netflix or Disney or one of these for like $9 million.
Really?
Yeah, and people are saying, "Why would you do that?" He's like, his family is set up for life, and he's a guy that never said a word,
He
or he
was
did eventually.
there. What was I watching? There was a show and he had to walk in, like it was a Hollywood show. Like the guy's walking and like I think a car cut off another one, and the main character, he sees it happen. He looks over at KB, whatever the guy's name, and then
Yeah.
he just goes,
Yeah, and that guy just sold his likeness to I forget what company. I want to say it's for a video game or whatever it is.
"Oh, could be, yeah."
But good for him. Like there are people like remember the ocean spray cranberry guy that was on the longboard?
Yeah, yeah,
Dude,
yeah,
he had his moment. He did well with it. The Huck Tula girl had a podcast for a while.
yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
there are opportunities for everybody to do things they just want to do.
Okay, his name is KB Lame.
That's it.
So
Yeah.
and he has $20 million worth, eh? So he was married and went through a divorce.
Yeah. But I mean, what did he do? He made silly videos and he made money doing it.
Yeah.
And here's the interesting thing about what we're doing. It's free. You can put
Yep.
a video up and it's free. You can have one video that just makes your life different all of a sudden,
Yep.
that fast. So
you could be famous, you just don't know it yet.
I think the problem is we're worried about what people think. And as
Yep.
as soon as you stop giving a shit what people think, you're good.
Yeah, exactly. Stop caring so much. Nobody else does. So
anyway,
cool.
Guys,
Anyway, have a good night, everyone.
Enjoy when we launch, we'll let everybody know what's happening. And it'll be fun.
Hold on. That's okay. KB Lane notches $975 million deal. $975 million.
There you go. Who was it to?
Including his AI avatar. He's the Gen Z Charlie Chaplin. Where is it? Who sold his company, which meant to Rich Sparkle Holdings, a Hong Kong company, worth $975 million. TikTok, everything in development of a digital twin. They're expecting him to net $4 billion in annual sales from the partnership.
Oh,
holy jeez.
Congratulations. Our local tax man just said, "Hey, the new grocery and essentials benefit is the grub benefit. File your taxes. Look for it."
Yeah, very cool.
I'll take it. Okay, guys.
Excellent. Have a good
Enjoy your
night.
weekend. We're gonna jet, and yeah, we will see you. Yeah, next week if Jay gets back from his vacation on time.
I'll be back hopefully. Otherwise,